On the other hand, you step back and you take out the core message of QAnon. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Like, there is a cabal of pedophiles, rich and famous, who are being protected by people in power in the media. And then you look at the Epstein files, you say, shit. There is a kernel of truth to that crazy conspiracy. I mean, ironically for QAnon, it ended up being people on their side of the political divide who are doing the cover-up. It is Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Bongino and Kash Patel and Bondi and all the rest of them doing the cover-up. Right. But that idea, again, is going to be very hard to put, the genie back in the bottle, in the sense of people saying, well, you know what? We had the pandemic and we had this and we had that. We had the Iraq War. A lot of people on the left, Naomi, go back to the Iraq War and point to WMDs as the original conspiracy. That, they lied. They coordinated.
But are we saying that there are no conspiracies? Like,
no,
of course there are conspiracies.
Agreed.
Right.
But if you have a mindset that is conspiratorial, do you see a conspiracy everywhere? And you mentioned the word paranoid, Naomi. Richard Hofstadter wrote that famous essay back in the 60s, The Paranoid Style of American Politics. There is this sense in the US in particular, compared to other Western countries, where people are, black helicopters in the middle of the night, all of that stuff that people on the right, Alex Jones and InfoWars, has been spreading for years. Do we then now believe, Alex Jones thinks there's stuff in the water that makes you gay. He thinks that, there's a gay Uber mafia, Jewish, that runs Uber and runs the country. Like, where do we go? There are conspiracies. There are powerful people plotting together behind the scenes. And that is a problem for the left, the right, anyone who believes in democracy. And we shouldn't go down the road of everything is some conspiracy by one or two powerful people. It's a question now we're going to struggle with, I think, going forward. Personally, I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah, but I think that what we're missing here is that the role that these sort of conspiracy influencers and just the constant distraction and let's go down a different rabbit hole is that it substitutes for a real systemic analysis of how power works, right? It never actually goes there. It's always in these plots, right? Yes. Whereas I think if you have, and there's a reason why the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories get called the socialism of fools, right? Yeah. Because you don't actually understand how power works. And this is where I think people like Bannon, who is in league with all kinds of billionaires, he wants his audience just running from one rabbit hole to the next and never actually talking about the conspiracy that is capitalism.